She even got her children involved in this. I'm glad I could. Well, I'm glad I give some inspiration. I'm hoping it's inspiration. I ain't gonna lie. I'm hoping I inspire some people. What you see is what you get. This is me in the regular world and everything. I'm probably the realest motherfucker on this app. I'm respected by people from all walks of life. Anywhere from the dangerous criminals I stayed with for 4 months at the drop-in homeless center to people in the entertainment industry. There's the difference. Why? Because I'm real as fuck. And I'm also a very good person. And I've been working to get in the entertainment business for over a year and a half. The company that I'm signed up with, that I'm working on and trying to do, I'm on a payment plan, it's working out. They do auditions and things like that, and they don't say yes just to everybody. They're not going to risk their name, their business, or anything like that for someone that would have mental illness or anything else like that wrong with them. So you wanting to say that I have schizophrenia and I've been off medication for 6 months and everything, that don't work. It'll help. And who knows, write a book. I'm going to have a ghostwriter write my book, but there's nothing wrong with mental illness, I'm talking about like way out there, when you're lying about how Tweedledum wants to lie and say I did shit to my kids that I never did. Yeah. But I'm not on any medication except my muscle relaxers and Pepsid and Keppra. And oh yeah, she said that she's a professional in narcotics. They put a red cap on narcotics, right? And I'm supposedly on narcotics. I take handfuls of medication, right? Narcotics, but they're green. And muscle relaxers are not narcotics. But a professional doctor would know that, wouldn't they? And, oh look, it's green, Pepsid. Oh look, green, Keppra. Which of those are supposedly narcotics? Like I said, a doctor. I mean, anybody with common sense knows that muscle relaxers are not narcotics. Anyone with a brain cell, even one brain cell, knows that muscle relaxers are not narcotics. And to go from saying, I have the screen recording of her of Tweedledum saying, I'm a hardcore, alcoholic. And then DM said to multiple people, and I'm sure she said it, that I'm a hardcore rug user. A doctor would know what a hair follicle test is. Not yet. I talked to the investigator Friday afternoon, early evening. When I called, I didn't realize he was waiting for me to call him back. But he's like, they transferred me right away to him because he had been waiting for me to call. He's like, I'm so glad you called. They wanted to make sure I was still going with the DNA test and everything. I said, absolutely. I said, when and where? He said he was thankful that I called and that I'm willing to do it still, because technically I don't have to do it. People don't seem to realize that. I don't have to do this test. I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. I mean, like, a hair follicle test, Kepreza for epilepsy. And I'm very open and honest about my life. I haven't done anything hardcore since November 23rd, 2020. So, I take 1,000 milligrams of Keppra because of my epilepsy twice a day. Yeah. So, he said that he had been in contact with the detective for the missing children's unit here in New York. They are working on setting up the DNA test to be done. He said they will let me know. I could go to the station or they could come to my home. I said, just let me know when, where. If they want to come here, that's fine. I could go to the station. I don't care. Let's get her done. So I'm, as soon as possible, I said, is it going to be after Christmas? Are we going to have to wait till after Christmas? He said it shouldn't be because Christmas, so many days till Christmas, but we still have plenty of time. But this is the 5 boroughs of New York. One company to collect evidence for law enforcement. One company for the 5 boroughs. That's Brooklyn, Manhattan, Bronx, New York City, Staten Island. So it's going to be done as soon as possible. It's just taking more time. People also have to realize things take time when it comes to law enforcement. It's multiple states. Believe me, if I could have gotten it done the next day, I fucking would have. But no, I'm not waiting on it. Like, I'm not running from it. I'm not holding off on it. Nothing like that. It's taking longer than we had hoped. Also, I'm an adult and not in any danger. They may want me to think I am, stupidly, because they have my address. Notice how I'm not scared. There's sometimes when I go walk in Manhattan alone at night. I'm not scared of shit. When I lived in my car for 9 months, I slept in West Palm Beach in a dangerous area with all my windows down at night. I'm not scared of shit. She says she's not scared of me. She just doesn't know what's going to happen next. And then had a panic attack on her live after she said that. It made her husband go get her medication out of the car. Now you tell me, if she's not scared of me, why is she having panic attacks so badly and breaking down like she is? Because evidently she broke down on dude's live and she paid him and then went and broke down on his live. Like, what are you scared of if you're not scared of me? Because I haven't done shit. I'm going to live in my life. What would she be scared of? You scared that you're going to prison? You and your family? Is that what it is? You should be. And then you just keep making it worse for yourself. That's what's funny. Not funny, haha, but funny, ironic. That you want to say you're educated and you're a doctor and all this shit. You're a pathological liar, most likely a sociopath. You have PTSD because of this shit because of shit that had been done to you and that you went through. That is not my motherfucking fault. But you want to re-victimize a victim over and over and over again to protect the people that victimized you. Instead of doing the right thing and turning them in. But please keep being foolish. because you and I could have probably worked together to get this done and get justice for both of us and others. But you decided not to because you have Stockholm Syndrome or some shit. And you really do, if like seriously, you need to go get some help for this. You need to get away from those people. Like, stop protecting them. Because until you do, you're not going to get better. It's just going to keep, you're not going to get any better mentally. You're going to have a lot of problems. You deserve justice too, you know. And how do you know that's even, how do you know you weren't kidnapped? How do you know you weren't kidnapped yourself? Because it's possible you were, along with your sisters. But I can imagine you have Stockholm Syndrome. And it happens a lot. It's not that uncommon, and it's not your fault. What is your fault, though, is what you're doing now and how you were acting in that. That's what your fault is. It's understandable if you have Stockholm Syndrome, sweetheart. But what you're doing now is not okay. And I hope you do get the help that you need. Because if you were kidnapped too, you deserve justice too. And the only way to be free of all that shit and those people, you need to turn them in and tell what happened. You need to call the detective, the investigator, and talk to them and tell them what happened. And tell them the truth. Because until you do, you're not going to be able to you're not going to heal from this, and you're not going to get the justice that you deserve too. Stop protecting them. Because, sweetheart, you're a victim too, whether you want to believe it or not. You are. Even if they are biologically your relatives, you're still a victim. Because I remember something you said that one night. When that Tina person was saying that I didn't need to go anywhere because I didn't need, I have gifts. You thought that she was talking about someone else. I know who you thought she was talking about. Because you said, no, someone that unalives a child doesn't have gifts. They're mentally ill. I remember the conversation they had in that car. I know you were most likely kidnapped too. But you need to call the investigator. You need to tell the truth. Because if you were kidnapped, you may not even realize it. Your name might not even be Heather. Seriously. And even if it is, and even if they are, what happened to you isn't your fault. But doing all the shit you're doing is not going to help. You need to get away from them. Because what I remember they did and let others do, I'm guessing you have Stockholm Syndrome. Cooperate with law enforcement. They can help you. But doing what you're doing is not going to help you or anyone. You've already paid enough, don't you think? You have, I have, others have too. So why let them keep getting away with it? Because until you cooperate, You're willing to keep paying for this shit when it's not your fault? But what you're doing now is your fault. And all you have to do is stop and talk to the law enforcement and tell them the truth. And turn the people in. And you know who I'm talking about. I know it can be scary. I get that. Trust me, I do. But you need to. Because it's the only way you'll be able to heal. Being around those people, you're not going to heal. And the others that you found are most likely not related to them either. Like they said that they were. You're younger than me. Look at all those different stories they told you about me. Those people are evil. And your family, if you are not related to them, are probably looking for you too. I don't want you having to keep paying for this shit. When I know you most likely have Stockholm Syndrome and that's why you're doing what you're doing. And I think the reason you said something to begin with was because you were trying. But then maybe someone said something to you. And so you decided to do this. Because you have Stockholm Syndrome. Heather, you really need to cooperate with investigators. Get your DNA tested. Because it's a chance that you are not even biologically that family's either. Get your DNA tested. It's possible that you're not theirs and that your family is looking for you. I'm willing to be there for you and everything. But you gotta stop doing the shit you're doing. Stop trying to victimize me and scare me. It don't work as it is. You know? I know you've watched me for a long time before you ever said anything. And you know that I will always stand up for what's right and just no matter what the cost is to me. And I believe every victim should get justice. Even when they have Stockholm Syndrome and they decide to do what they, you know. Please cooperate with investigators. Tell them what you know. Have them do a DNA test on you. That way it could be put in quotas. And if you are a missing child, if you were kidnapped, which at this point is very, very probable, you might have a very loving family out there looking for you. But what you're doing, the shit you keep doing is not going to help you. And you're going to have to keep paying for shit over and over and over again. Why do you want to do that? I don't want you to have to go to jail for this shit. Or prison for this shit. I understand you have Stockholm Syndrome and that. Obviously, I'm, I think maybe you're scared to find out the truth. And I understand that. And if it turns out you are a missing person too, I'll help you. I'll be here for you. Because I will understand you and I will forgive you for everything you've done. And even if you're not, you still need to get some help. Because either way, whether you're biologically related to them or not, you have Stockholm Syndrome, honey. I could be a very very petty bitch, and you know that. I don't want you to have to keep paying for the shit. I want you to get justice for what you've been through and what's been done to you. Because I know what the memories I'm having, I know you went through it too. Whether you're biologically theirs or not. Heather, I know that picture that I have on my phone that I screenshotted is your mom, the woman, most likely. That's not your mom. You don't look anything like her. You have strawberry blonde hair. She has what, black hair? Sweetie, if that was your mom, your hair wouldn't be strawberry blonde. You don't look like her. You need to get away from them. You need to go to law enforcement. Cooperate with the police. Get a DNA test done. I know it's scary. But I am willing to tell you, and I'm putting this out there right now, whether that is biologically your family or not, I am willing to be here for you and help you, emotionally and everything. You need help. Because I'm telling you, you have Stockholm Syndrome for what you're doing. And all the shit you've been through in your life, you don't need to be continuously be paying for it. Why do you think that, yeah, you have all that money, right? Why do you think they gave you all that money? And if you all signed an NDA, why do you think that was? So you could never tell the truth. So you could be suffering. It's a NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. You don't need to be suffering anymore. Stockholm Syndrome? Stockholm Syndrome is when a kidnapped victim is mentally tied. It's like a trauma bond almost. It's almost like a trauma bond. But they will go, like someone with Stockholm Syndrome will go to bat for their captor. A lot of victims have it, you know. I'm willing to bet you're not even related to her. Or him. They may not even have had any biological children. Cooperate with the police, please, and get a DNA test done. And if you could get your sisters to do one, I suggest it as well. Because it's possible that they're missing too. You may not even know your real names. I mean, look at me, I didn't know. I didn't know till you said my name, the name Tanya. I want to help you, but you gotta stop doing the shit you're doing. Go call the investigator tomorrow. Tell him you cooperate with him. And I'm telling you, I know how scary it is. Trust and believe I do. And I know it's going to be hard. But I can promise you in the end it'll be worth it. And I will protect you. But you gotta do it. You know in your heart you gotta do it. I know the reason that you're doing what you're doing is because you're scared. Because you're scared of what they might do to you. I think prison at this point is probably your least of your worries at this point, you know? I promise you it'll be okay. But you can't live in fear. Why do you think you get scared every time you hear a noise outside? Why do you think your anxiety is so bad? I know. I know I have PTSD. I hate the memories. I know. Because of what happened to me and what I'm remembering. I know. But you gotta understand, honey, you're not alone. I'm here. I'm here. And what you told me about how they treat you, just the way they treat you in that, I'm willing to put money on that you are not even biologically related. Because something you told me that she had her tubes burned, tied, or whatever, and then got pregnant with you. Don't think so. It's all been a lie. They've been lying to you the whole time, too. And you know that. You probably remember things that you don't understand or don't make sense to you. I mean, it's possible you might be from the same area. You know? You don't even look like the picture, the women, those pictures that you sent me. You don't look like them. Hell, they don't even look like each other. The only thing that looks similar is the hair. Don't you think it's kind of strange that you and them all have like strawberry blonde hair and she doesn't? And neither does he. There's no way. You and them would have strawberry blonde hair. None. And the other children they're trying to get you to find are victims as well. And you know that. I'm guessing we all came from small towns. Where it wouldn't really be big news across the world, United States or whatever at the time. Please. Please cooperate with law enforcement. I can tell you right now, those people cannot hurt you. It's scare tactics. He knows how it don't work on me. That's why I said, I'm willing to do what I need to do to protect you. Legally. Obviously, legally protect you. And protect you from those people. But you need to do the right thing. Because until you do, you're not going to be able to heal. And I think your biggest fear, actually, is because I think in your mind you're thinking, what if you might have been kidnapped too? And it's scary thinking about that. Your world gets turned upside down, I know. Living proof of that. But it's better to know. Because you don't know. Like, you could be a missing person too, that your family is looking for you. That's why I'm telling you, go call law enforcement tomorrow and call the investigator tomorrow. Tell them that you'll cooperate. Tell them what you know. And ask them to do a DNA test for you. And they will set one up. They won't let anybody hurt you. But you need to tell them the truth. Because until you do, these people are not going to pay for the crimes that they've committed. The heinous, vile, disgusting acts against children that they've done. And all of us, you, me, and the others, deserve justice for what they've done. And they deserve to be put in prison for the rest of their lives. It's the only way you're going to be able to heal at all. I'm guessing you have night terrors. You don't really like physical affection. You're very claustrophobic. You may have had problems with, bladder problems. Probably horrible pregnancies because you said you had to have C-sections. Probably painful pregnancies. There's a reason for that. You need justice too. And I want to help you with that. We need to. The only way this is going to work is if you stop coming at me like you're coming at me and stop having other people do it and cooperate. Because we're not victims, we're survivors. And like I said, I know how scary it is. But we could stick together and we'll get through this, you know? It's going to take a little bit of time. And a lot of healing. And, law enforcement has people that'll to hypnotize us and straighten out our memories and stuff. Start writing down anything you remember from back then, all the stuff that you went through, everything you remember. That way you gave it to law enforcement. These people need to pay for what they've done. I don't want to sue you, and I don't want you going to jail or anything like that. But this shit needs to stop now, and we need to work together. But in order to do that, you need to call and talk to the investigator in Central Texas. Tell them you'll cooperate, and they will take a DNA swab from you. They'll have it all set up. You don't have to worry about doing nothing. They'll do the DNA swab. They'll put it through CODIS. Find out if you are a missing person or not. If you are, you deserve to be found too. Because who knows? Maybe you're not even 41. You could be younger too. They could have just given you a fake birthday, a fake age. And I know he's a pediatrician or a family doctor, and he probably got you the same way he got me. With the sucker, the safety sucker. If you're a missing person, most likely your family is looking for you and are worried and wondering what happened to you. So please, for the love of God, cooperate with police. Tell them what you know. And I'm sure they would be willing to do it. They will do a DNA swab. They'll get it all set up. Like I said, you won't worry about anything. You won't have to pay nothing. And, there's the Charlie Project. If you're missing like I am, they'll take care of switching and getting your identity fixed and everything. But you're not going to know for sure until you get that test, till you cooperate with police, tell them what you know, and do the test. I'm very vindictive. I'm not vindictive. I'm a very petty bitch, but at the end of the day, every victim deserves justice. So please. You're not gonna be okay until you do. And you're going to keep wondering. I mean, sweetheart, the way this shit will put you in prison. I don't want that to happen to you. At all. But I want you to get justice. That's what I do want. I want to know. We need to know if you're missing too, honey. Like I said, call law enforcement tomorrow. Call the investigator. Tell dispatch who you are. Tell me you need to talk to the investigator immediately. And I'm sure the investigator will talk to you as soon as he can. You just cooperate with them. Because it's very possible, very plausible. I wouldn't be surprised if your sisters and all you all wouldn't be one bit surprised if none of you are even related to them. So, please. And have the investigator, tell the investigator to call me and talk to me and let me know that you're cooperating. And I will talk to the investigator about it, my suspicions on everything when it comes to you and your sisters, because at this point, seeing that woman, and somebody said that you had her in your life, that's your mom. I can tell you right now that is not your mom. You look nothing like her. Not even the same hair color. And I'm sure she's sitting there watching with you. And if she is, her time is numbered. She's going to prison. And I'm going to give her a very friendly warning. The friendliest I can at this point, in case she is watching. If she touches you, it'll be she'll wish she had never done anything that she did. I got friends in very high places and very low places, very people that are very protective of me. And I've been everywhere. So, the ones that need to worry more than anything is not me. It's not you, except you need to get her out of your fucking house. Because if anything happens to you, I'm going to let investigators know who to contact, who did it. If anything happens to you, your children, your sisters, anybody, the first suspect are those two. And they will pay. So my advice to them is not to do a fucking thing. Because they're going to pay for every crime they've ever fucking committed. Who knows, maybe that's why she reached out to me, because she knew how strong I was. I knew I wouldn't back down. Maybe that's what she was hoping for, because she knew I would eventually figure it out. and she's too scared to do it herself. Yeah. It sounds like a cry for help to me, too. Because this is a very strange way about doing it. You do know you could have just said something to me instead of doing this. But I think she really wanted my attention. You got it, sweetie. You knew I would eventually figure it out. You've watched me long enough to know that. And I want to apologize for all of it. Yeah, I'm alright. I want to apologize for the things I said, but you know what you said. But you knew eventually I would figure it out. And I want to help. But in order to do that, you need to call law enforcement. I will call them tomorrow myself. And I will let him know. I will tell him to contact you, and I will tell him my suspicions. If you have not called him. Why do you think he wanted to know if you would be cooperative? He wanted to know if you were going to cooperate. Because he probably has a suspicion that you're a missing person too. And for you to go the way you've been going, somebody may have scared you. And that's why your anxiety is so bad. Because they're most likely threatening you. If you don't get her to shut up because you opened Pandora's box. If you don't get her quiet because you opened Pandora's box. I'll tell you what. If they harm one hair on you or your children's heads, they touch you, or your children, or your sisters, or anything like that, they will wish and pray to whatever God that they believe in, that they could find a time machine and go back in time and never have done what they did. So, I'm going to let investigators know, because I know she's there at your house. That way they can get her out of there and get you to safety. Because I have the feeling, my spidey senses are tingling, that I am right. Because of what you told me. How she had her tubes burned, tied, all that shit, and then got pregnant with you? No. There's no way. Because looking at that picture, they said that's your mom. And then looking at you and the pictures of your sister, that there's no way. Because if that was, you would have dark hair, not strawberry blonde. You don't even look like her. I don't know what else to say at this point. Except please contact the investigators tomorrow. And like I said, if anything happens to you, they're going to have hell to pay. But stop lying about me. And stop doing the shit you've been doing. Because it's not going to work. So. And if she wants to say some shit to me, she knows how to get a hold of me. Have her DM me on here. Because I'm not the one. I'm like the worst nightmare shit. Again. You need justice for what they did to you. Believe me, I know. The night terrors, the anxiety and that. I think your biggest fear is that you most likely are a missing person too. And that's why you're hoping this isn't real. That's why you're doing what you're doing to scare me into trying to scare me or whatever into not doing the test. Because if what they said to you about me was a lie, now what you're thinking is it possible that you were also? And yes. Unfortunately. I promise you everything will be okay. Right? This is the olive branch that I'm putting out there for you, Heather. It's up to you whether you accept it or not. But you need justice for what happened to you too. With that, I'm going to end this for now because I need to get some sleep. And I'm going to go on the ferry tomorrow. In a while. Go on the ferry when I get up and change and shower, refreshed. And I'm going to go to that church and light some candles. The one church I find peace at. I'm going to light one for those children in those pictures that I have. Those two babies. I'm going to light one for you, Heather A. Light one for me. And I'm going to light one for a couple other kids that I know that were in where I was. You may have signed an NDA, sweetheart, but it ain't going to hold up in a court of law. When it comes to this kind of thing, I don't think NDAs matter. And you have nothing to worry about legally. They may have made you believe you do, but you don't. And trust me, I have lawyers at my disposal that can help us. But you gotta cooperate with police. I will be in touch with my lawyers from my school, and I'm going to talk to them about the NDA thing, because I have a feeling you and your family and your sister signed them. So you wouldn't be able to talk on it or tell the truth. But I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be in contact with my the lawyers at the school and see if it'll even stand up now. You know what? Actually, maybe Google can help me. If someone is kidnapped and they sign an NDA, does the NDA matter, or can they speak on what happened? Not NBA, you dumb motherfucker. I hate it when it does that shit. I said ND, not B. If someone is kidnapped and forced to sign an NDA, the NDA is likely not enforceable, and they can still speak about the kidnapping as it constitutes a crime, meaning reporting it to the authorities is protected under public policy and overrides the NDA's restrictions. They should still consult with a lawyer to understand their specific situation. In this case, it's not going to stand, sweetheart. They have you convinced. That's why they had you sign it. It's not going to stand. I promise you. All the pain and stuff you're holding on to because you're afraid you can't talk about it because you're afraid of legal problems, because that's what they have you believing. You're good. Because kidnapping is a crime. And right now you're still being held prisoner, basically. It's time to speak and tell the truth. You have nothing to fear when it comes to this. Because what they did is horrific and vile and disgusting and evil. What they did to me, other children, and you, and the others. Please. You deserve justice too. Don't let them get away with this shit. Why do you think they gave you all that money and continue to give you money? So you're well provided for, and you have a NDA signed because you are basically, they're paying you off and that. You need to speak up. You, your sisters, if they are your sisters, y'all need to do a DNA test. Speak up, tell the truth, get it out there, because until you do, it's going to eat you alive. Y'all deserve justice too, just like I do. These monsters need to go away for what they've done. They don't deserve compassion in any way, shape, or form. They deserve to be behind bars for the rest of their fucking lives. That's why your anxiety is so bad, because of the NDA that you signed, because you're afraid they have you believing that it's going to hold up in the fucking court of law when it comes to kidnapping and the other shit that they did. It's not. It's not in any way, shape, or form. You have nothing to be scared of. And these motherfucking bitches are so, they ain't gonna do shit to you. I know it's scary. Trust me, believe I do. But I promise you, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Like I said, if anything were to happen to you, your kids, your husband, your sisters, they're the prime suspects. And if anything were to happen, I would make sure that they will pay. Because I'm not going to rest until they pay for what they've done. You need justice too. And I can tell you right now, you're most likely a missing person too. And if I'm right, I'm going to be here for you. I'll be here for you. It's going to take time to heal, obviously, you know? We'll all be okay. And you know, we'll all be financially sitting pretty as it is without having that monster, have to worry about those monsters ever again. You deserve to be free. And so do your sisters. And you know it. But you're scared. And I think that's the real reason why you spoke up to me. Because you knew that I'm not going to back down. You knew it. Maybe you are smarter than I thought. Because I'm like, this is insane. People don't do this shit. This is nuts. But now, after thinking a lot about everything and that and talking about it, now I know why. And I think everybody is probably going to agree with me that since she's watching, and we all know she's watching, do you guys think that she reached out to me for help in a way because she's scared and knows that I won't back down? Or do you think she's just off her, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Well, we got one followers, 2 following, and yeah, we know your Stella is a fake account. Do y'all think that she reached out knowing that I would figure it out? I'm intrigued. What do y'all think? I mean, maybe I am wrong. Because they said, that little P person said they all sign NDAs. Everyone does. No, that's not a normal thing. In any way, shape, or form. The only time you would sign an NDA is if the person is a celebrity. But when it comes to kidnapping and crimes like that, those do not hold up in a court of law. Especially something like this. She knows a lot. But I think because that LP person said, it's just something everybody has to do. No, that's not. I want to help her. But in order to do that, she has to stop doing the shit she's doing. And she has to tell the truth. And know that the NDA it doesn't have any, it's not going to hold water. Like I said, I know it's scary. But chances are you might be an actual missing person too. I'm willing to put money on it, actually. Little bits and pieces that you would let slip out. I don't know. I don't know when she signed it. But I'm pretty sure, because Little Piece said everybody has to. It's just something everybody has to do. No, that's not fucking normal. The only time you have to sign an NDA is for a celebrity. Not for something like, no, this doesn't work like that. That's why the mother said, I'll sign an NDA. We all will if this stops. If it stops this, bitch, that don't work like that. Yeah, this is like a kidnapping, multiple children. That's why they wanted me to sign an NDA. But I think the reason she reached out to me is because she knew I would figure it out. And because of everything that I fucking did. And then they got scared. And now... And she was hoping that I would... I'm guessing she figured out that I would figure it out eventually. The hold on the DNA is because I'm in the 5 boroughs of New York. They're working on it. There's like one company for the 5 boroughs of New York that collects DNA or any type of physical evidence of that to be testing for law enforcement. So that's why it's taking longer than we had hoped. I'm hoping that it happens before Christmas. He said it should, but don't know. But he told me that like Thursday or Friday it should, so I don't know. I'm gonna hopefully talk to him again tomorrow. But yeah, I want her. She deserves justice too, and that. So, and it's possible she's not even the right age that she thinks. So I think what I'm gonna do, because you know I'm smart like that, I'm going to look at missing children in the early 80s and see if there's any females with the age progression photos that look like her. No, we're still waiting to do the test. He said, because when I called him on Friday evening. I was live. I would have called him before that had I known that he was waiting for me to call, but he was like, they wanted to make sure I was still up to doing the DNA, because here's the thing. I don't have to do this DNA test, but I'm going to. Because that family deserves to know, and if I am Tanya, I need to know. And those people need to pay for what they've done. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Because there's one company that collects DNA and all types of evidence, physical evidence for law enforcement in the 5 boroughs. And so it's not just it's not just getting DNA from me. Yeah, it's multiple states, but it's out of Texas. So Texas had, when I talked to him, he said he was grateful that I'm still willing to do the DNA test. He still wants me to write down everything I remember. So now that we got that, he told me on Friday that there's a detective with the missing children's unit here that is working on getting it set up. I've called the FBI. I've called the missing persons unit here, and they said because it's out of Texas, they can assist with it, but it has to be Texas setting everything up, contacting them and everything. Yes, you could call and ask yourself if you'd like. Yes. Even in a kidnapping case. But I can tell you there are multiple children that are missing in plain sight, and my spidey senses are tingling as to the fact that she is most likely one of those children. I'm not talking about me, obviously. I'm talking about the other one. Just like I believe the pictures that she sent me, she did it intentionally. She's not stupid. But she is scared. That's why she sent me the pictures. I think she knew I would eventually figure it out. But because she signed an NDA, she thinks it's going to hold up in a court of law. It's not. But that's why her anxiety is so bad. She doesn't have PTSD. She has complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And she is scared. She reached out to me, I think, to tell me all this because she is scared. But at the same time, I think it's a cry for help. And now they have her terrified that something's going to happen to her kids or something like that. And that's why her anxiety is so bad. Let me remember what she said on her live. She said, she's not scared of me, but she doesn't know what's going to happen next. And she had an anxiety attack so bad on her live after saying that her husband had to go get her medication out of the car. I couldn't figure it out. And then, talking about it sometimes helps me figure things out. Everything she's been doing, she knows is a crime. Paying these people to do this shit, she knows. She's not stupid. I don't think she's crazy either. Because I'm like, this is not mentally, this doesn't make any fucking sense. But because I never signed an NDA, and they did. She knew I would figure it out eventually. That's why she sent me the pictures and that. I think maybe she's hoping I'll give them to law enforcement, or that way I can look it up to see if I can find missing people missing kids, age progressions of those people, her and her sisters. Because she knows I am in school for criminal justice, and I do have a detective mind, and she has been watching me all this time. Yeah. She is. Her husband, her children, her sisters. So yes and no. But because people said that woman, the screenshot I have of that woman who commented on my fucking video and I addressed, it took a screenshot of the profile and the profile picture, before I addressed it, because she deleted the comment and everything. She looked like Heather looks nothing like her. Neither do neither do the others. They think that, I'm guessing they're under the assumption because of the NDA that they were forced to sign that it's going to hold up, and it's not. And she's watched me long enough to know that I am very stubborn and I'm not going to back down, and she knows I will stand up for what's right and just no matter what the cost is to me. I don't think her or the others are even biologically related to those people. And if I'm right, which my gut feeling tells me I'm right, because this makes no fucking sense otherwise. She's doing this because she's scared. That's why her anxiety has gotten so bad. So I'm going to do what I can to help her, even after all the shit. Because every victim deserves justice. And I know she's scared, because it is scary, knowing that you might be knowing you might be kidnapped. But if anything, she already knows. I promise she'll get through it. No. No, he's not. No. But the little bit, because I've started thinking about everything that had been said, when the things, even from her, from him, all of it. And I think she knew that I would eventually figure it out. Because I said, eventually I will figure this out. She's like, I know you will. She said that she knew I would. So, she knows. For her to be doing this, after watching me this long, that's why she reached out. It wasn't because anybody pissed her off or anything. It wasn't to shut me up. It was because she knew after watching me for so long that I would figure it out. She reached out to me right before Halloween, and then after all the gaslighting, the lies and everything back and forth, which I should have picked up on, but I didn't. It takes me a bit, I have a detective mind and everything else, criminal justice, but it takes time to figure shit out. I figured, because I think what happened was in the beginning, she was reaching out to me because she knew I would figure it out eventually, and I think after that, they scared her. So right now she's living in fear, I think, because of the NDA and everything. And I think she has Stockholm Syndrome in a sense, but doesn't really. I think she's smarter than what she lets on. Because like me, I think she's had to play stupid for a very long time. So, just bits and pieces of things that I've picked up on of what she had said before, and that, and what her husband had said. I don't know, but they wanted me to sign one. That's how I know that she did, because also Little P, I guess it's her daughter, said that everybody does. It's something everybody does. No, that's not normal. That's not normal in any way, shape, or fucking form to sign an NDA. Unless it's a celebrity and you got to keep their secrets or something. That's not criminal. When it's not criminal. But these motherfuckers are not even celebrities. And just things that she had told me. Just, there's no way. Like, she's smart. She's not crazy. What she's been doing and saying, it was so she would get my attention. It's a cry for fucking help. The whole thing has been a cry for help because she knew I would eventually figure it out. And she's scared. And I know she's watching live streaming. As she does, like they do. And yeah. I'll be in contact with the investigator and tell him my theories. And I will take those pictures and I will look up missing persons in the early 80s and the 70s and see if anything pops up for the rest of them. And then that way, we could get the ball rolling and get them all DNA tested too. Like I said, I'm going to stand up for every victim and that. And I mean, this is a really fucked up way of going about trying to tell me and get my attention and shit. I'm alright. I've come to the conclusion after everything that the other Heather A., I don't think she's crazy. I think she's very intelligent. I think everything that she's been doing, the defamation of character and all that, it was to get my attention because and she knew I would figure it out. That's why she sent the pictures of her and her sisters. Because I think she figured out that I would eventually dig into it. And she's afraid. She's living in fear. They all are. And I think she knew I wasn't going to sign any NDA. Because she's been watching me for long enough to know that. I don't think her name is Heather either. Just a name they gave her. But I am going to do some research and digging. And I'm going to see if I can find any missing persons in the 70s and early 80s that matched the pictures of those people that she sent me. Because I know there were other children where I was, and her anxiety and the PTSD and everything she's experiencing is because she's a victim. And my spidey senses tell me that she was also kidnapped, like I was. It's a really fucked way about going about trying to get me to help her in that. But with them saying, the little P person saying, oh, why don't you sign it? Everybody does. That's not normal. You're not like normal families and that. That's a celebrity thing, not a normal family. That's how I'm like. Yeah, no, that's not normal. And anyway, and the fact that picture of that woman that I took a screenshot of with her profile page. There's no way. You know me. I'm going to stand up for what's right just no matter what the cost is. I mean, she knew that I wouldn't I think she knew I wasn't going to back down. She knew how strong I was just by watching me for so long. I'm going to help her. And I'm going to help her sisters. And we're going to get to the bottom of this. No, hon, I haven't slept. I don't sleep at night, remember? I'm guessing neither does she. Just like I have a feeling she doesn't like physical affection. She doesn't like closed space. She's probably very claustrophobic like I am. She could have phobia of clowns too. But if my theory is right, in her, because no. These motherfuckers are going away for a very long time. Because they're living in fear. But yeah, she's not crazy. She's not none like that. She's been through a shit ton of things too. And I told her eventually I would figure it out, and she said she knew I would. That's one thing she did say. She's like, yeah, I know you will. Yeah. That's why all the shit that's been going on. Because I did find out, and she's most likely been threatened and everything else. That's why when she was on live the other night, I have a detective mind. And just, I picked up on things, I started thinking about everything that had been happening and what she said and everything. And I know she's not stupid. I know she's not crazy. It's one way to get, it got worse after I said, fuck your NDA and all this shit. And then I went digging, and then it was found, I found Tanya Michelle Williams. And then it got worse. I think because she said that she told me she found me in 2022. So she'd been watching me all this time. And I think she finally realized that she knows how strong I am and what I've been through and everything. And I think that might be why she reached out. And then once everything happened, and I said basically, fuck you. But before that, I said, I will eventually figure everything out. No matter what. And she said, yeah, I know you will. So all this time, her doing what she's been doing, paying these people to do it, all this shit. It was a cry for help because she knew. But I think because she signed an NDA because she was forced to. And I think she knew that I would not sign one. She knew I wasn't going to sign one. But one thing that kept coming to mind is something that was told to me. I mean, you have got to be the dumbest person alive to send me your phone number, your real phone number with your name, and the pictures of you and your sisters and everything else. And then to do that's not someone that makes no sense. Because she said something when she was on live, I guess, the other night. She said she wasn't scared of me. She just didn't know what was going to happen next, and then she had an anxiety attack so badly, her husband had to go get her medication out of the car. I need to find out. I need to do some research and look up missing people in the 70s and 80s. I'll do the late 60s to the early 80s because, you know, or the 60s to the 80s. You know what I mean? Probably just like 1970 to early 80s or mid 80s. It would be female, obviously. The picture she sent me of her and her sisters. I'm willing to bet that each of us had been taken from a small town. Because it would be, and I'm guessing, from what I remember, we were probably all given a safety sucker. My theory is the person who did it is either a family doctor or a pediatrician, and I know from what I read, Tanya didn't like men, so it would have been somebody Tanya had to have known. I am concentrating on myself, but at the same time, this is part of it. Because if I'm right, then my kidnappers also kidnapped her and her sisters. That's why she reached out to me. She knew I was going to figure it out. She's not stupid. She knew I would figure it out. She knew I would never sign an NDA. She knew. She's in fear. She's living in fear. That's why she sent me the pictures. I'm figuring this out. She didn't say she was, but I am figuring this out myself, and she knew I would. She knew. That's why she reached out. That's why she told me my name, because she knew I would figure it out. She knows I'm smart. And her doing what she's doing now, with the paying them to do what they're doing, it was to get my attention. Yeah, it just takes me some time to figure shit out. You know, you could scroll on. I don't give a fuck what you think. So why don't you just move on? That would be the smartest thing for you to do at this point. Morning. But yeah, I'm going to do some investigating. Like I always do. Because I'm that bitch. So, but also they did sign in NDAs. That's another thing. I'm like, that's not something normal. For families to, the whole family signs an NDA for what? You know? So, yeah. And with my memories, the memories I'm having, that's why her anxiety is so bad, because she's worried that I wouldn't figure it out, maybe? I don't know. But if she's watching, I promise you, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And I promise you I will figure it out. And if you are if you were kidnapped too, and I will find out. Because I'm guessing you don't know your name either. We're going to find out. We'll figure it out, okay? I know she's probably watching live streaming, whatever, from a fake account. I'm going to figure it out. One thing I did say, I would eventually figure it out. On my own. She said she knew I would. She's like, yeah, I know you will. So, all the shit the anxiety, and that is because she didn't know, like, yeah. So that's why the longer time went on, the more outlandish the lies have gotten. Oh my god. She's not smart, or she's not smart. She's very smart. She's like me, has to play stupid when she needs to. She's not stupid. She's not crazy. What she did, what she's been doing, she reached out because she wanted me to know, because she knew I would eventually figure it out. The stuff that she's been doing is a cry for help. Because she wanted my attention, because she knew I would go digging and figure it out eventually. Because I'm like, this isn't normal people shit. This is not normal. In any way, shape, or form. On TikTok, right before Halloween, she reached out and said, "Oh my God, you're my sister, you're my long lost sister, Tanya. You were kidnapped," and this and the other. And then other little bits and pieces of things that she had said. And the fact that I know someone had paid people to find me. And I think at this point it was probably her to try and get my location. Yeah. Families, you don't have to sign an NDA when in a family. Like, that makes no sense. You know what I mean? And if Little P, how she said that everyone had to sign one. For what? For what? So yeah. No. Even if your parents are doctors or whatever, that's not normal. Your parents are rich doctors. The family's not signing NDAs. That's not a normal thing. That's celebrity stuff. Yeah. No. And I think because I figured out who the kidnappers were or are, that's why the more outlandish shit has been going. Because I've been getting close. And she knew I would figure it out. But if anything happens to her family, or her sisters or anything, I know who did it. And if they're watching, I'm talking to the kidnappers right now. If the kidnappers are watching, which wouldn't surprise me if they were, if you lay one hand on any of them, hurt a hair on any of their heads, you will wish you had never. You'll wish that you had never taken me. Which you're going to wish that as it is by the time this is all said and done. You will not hurt them. Because if you do, it'll be the biggest mistake you could ever fucking make. Try me. I ain't scared of shit. And by now you should know that. I can. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I have not slept. You know, I sleep during the day, not at night. And no, it's not because of sweet tea. It's because of night terrors and I can't sleep at night. Just like I'm pretty sure she probably has horrible claustrophobia. Yeah. So yeah. I'm gonna figure it out. She knows I'm gonna figure it out. And I think that's what she's hoping for. Obviously. She knows I'm a good person. That's why she reached out. Yeah, she lied, but in a way she didn't. So I need to get some sleep. Try to anyway. And when I get up, I am going to go on the ferry and I am going to go and walk for a while. Most likely not. She probably doesn't even know her real name or her real birthday. None of them do, most likely. She could have been taken from. I mean, she said something about Mexico. She mentioned Mexico. She mentioned China, or not China, Germany. So I'm going to figure out who they are and that. She knew I would figure it out. Just gonna take some time, and I will find out who they really are. Her and her sisters. The pictures she sent me. And if she's watching, I want her to know that I'm promising her right now that I will find out who she is. And I will find out who your sisters are. And I will find out where you were taken from. And we're all gonna get justice. I promise. You know I don't break my promises. You've been watching me long enough. But stop the shit. Well, it's gonna take some time. But if I can figure out who they are, that'll help the case. Because if I figure out who they are, and I tell investigators that they've been kidnapped too, but the NDA thing is why they're scared, why they're not talking. And the fact that, the kidnapper, one of them is very nearby. Yeah, pretty sure that there might be arrests made. Or put her and her family somewhere safe. But this shit needs to stop. Don't be doing that shit no more. You want me to help you, and I want to help you, and get to the bottom of everything? Don't do this shit anymore. Because it's not going to help either one of us with you doing this. I will call the investigator, and I will let them know my suspicions. And about the NDA, and that would be why you're not speaking white and how you're most likely scared. One way or another, we'll get to the bottom. I'll get to the bottom of it. She knew I would. She flat out said, I know you will, when I said, I will figure all this shit out on my own, no matter what. She said, yeah, I know you will. She already knew. That's why she reached out. The outlandish stuff, going back and forth with her stories and that, she knows exactly what she's doing. Yes. There were multiple children involved. And it's time the shit comes to an end. Yes. Either that or it's out. It could be, it could be that she's been doing it because well, number one, she knows how strong I am, but also a cry for help because she knew I would figure it out. She knew eventually I was going to figure it out, but she is terrified, and it's not of me because she said, I'm not scared of her. I just don't know what's going to happen next. And she had a horrible anxiety attack, and her husband had to go get her medicine out of the car. She's not stupid. She's not crazy, nothing like that. She's actually very smart. She dropped hints that she knew I would figure out. She dropped enough hints. Her and her husband dropped enough hints. They gave me enough hints to know that because they knew I would eventually figure it out. And she knew I wasn't going to sign any NDA. No, watching me long enough, she knew for a fact I would never sign an NDA. That's why I got more and more outlandish. That's why because I agreed to it, and then look what happened after I agreed to sign the NDA, remember? She got worse with me, remember? And then I said, fuck your NDA. She did this intentionally because she did not want me signing that NDA. She wanted me to figure this out. That's why. That's why. Think about this. If you are living in fear with your kidnapper and you find the person that they gave away, right? Right? You find the person that they gave away and you watch that person for a while, like 2 years, whatever. And then the online stalking and everything else. And then you realize how strong that person is. And how smart that person is. So you reach out to that person and say, oh my God, you're my long lost sister named Tanya. Give that person her actual name. Tell her that she's been kidnapped. I told her when I talked to her the first time privately, I said, I will eventually figure all this shit out. Regardless. And she said, yeah, I know you will. She knew. That's why now she's living in fear. Because, yeah. But I can tell you right now, I'm willing to put money on the fact that she was also kidnapped. And because they were all forced to sign NDAs, they think it's going to stand in the court of law. That's why they're not saying anything. That's why it's gotten so bad. That's why her anxiety has gotten so bad, because I think she was afraid that I wasn't going to figure it out after all. Because she said she's not scared of me. She just doesn't know what's going to happen next, and then had an anxiety attack so bad that her husband had to go get her medicine out of the car. She's not scared of me. It's not. But she was afraid I wasn't going to figure it out. Or that I was going to give up or whatever. And not look into it. That's why she sent me the pictures of her and her sisters. Sisters. I don't know if they're actually related or not. But I am going to get to the bottom of it. She gave me enough clues. Something about 1974. 1982, 1974. Germany, Mexico. I write this shit down. Okay, Heather, put your head together. Pull yourself together, man. Okay. So Mexico, 1983, 1972. Was it 74 or 1974? I don't know. Multiple children. She said multiple children. Her mom was always trying to get children. She was always trying to get people to give her children. I wonder if that woman was her friend, the Sarah person, because she said at the time they lived in Chicago. Supposedly the dad lives in Dallas. And I think that one even gave me the father's name. She's in Austin or something like that. I'll have to look that up, but she said something about a child named Adam that passed away. Supposedly a childbirth, but that's probably not even true either. Supposedly a twin of mine, so. So 1982, 1972 or 74, multiple children, child named Adam, Chicago, Dallas, Texas, multiple children, Germany, Mexico. What am I missing? I know children were unalived. Which means the children that weren't alive could be buried on properties somewhere, like her father's or father's or whatever. No, that's not going to work. Has to be done through law enforcement, but it's time I start looking. can't remember the sister's name that she told me. That's why her anxiety is so bad, is because she's afraid I'm not going to figure it out. She thought I wouldn't figure it out or pick up on it. This was a cry for help. All the shit that she's been doing has been a cry for help. It's not to fucking be hateful. She's a cry for help because she's in fear. She's living in fear. $1967. Then supposedly her birthday is March 10th. She said my birthday was March 3rd, 1982. She said the sister right above me was born in 15 years older, so 1967. But I wasn't taken till June 7th, 1983, so she also said something about my being born in 1974 or something about 1974 or 1972, which obviously was a bullshit lie. These are all clues that she was giving me. These are clues that she was giving me. She was giving me clues without trying to break the NDA. Germany, Mexico, March 3rd, 1982. The one 15 years older would have been born in 1967. Supposedly her birthday is March 10th, 1983, but that's not necessarily true either. But her name may not even be Heather either. So if I'm right, and they were all kidnapped too. And then the other woman said, Chicago, Dallas, Texas. Then she also said that I had a twin named Adam that died at birth. So there might be a child named Adam that was unalived. She was giving me clues. These are all clues that she was giving me. Because I told her eventually I would figure everything out on my own if I needed to, and she said, yeah, I know you will. And her anxiety is so bad, not because she's scared of me, because she's not. She knows I'm not going to hurt her or anybody else. She's scared that I'm not going to figure it out in time. These were all clues. All the shit that she's been doing, paying these people to do, it was to get my attention. That's why. And I think that she probably is the one that paid people from my past to find out where I was. Because she even got her kids involved. That's not, like, she's a mama. That's not something she would do. Unless she was trying to, Yeah, the name Robin, Linda. Okay, and then so her sister's name is Robin. And, then whoever Fawn is was supposedly the sister too. She needs some help. She's very something else. But where the fuck does Amanda Jr. and Brown fit into this too? Because, I mean, she's been stalking me the whole time. I think she knew I wasn't going to sign an NDA, but then when I said I would agree to it, she got more outlandish, more hurtful, and everything else, remember? I said I would do it, and then that she started acting the way she did. Even worse, because she didn't want me to sign it. Because she knew yeah. Well, it took me long enough to figure it out, didn't it? But at the same time, it doesn't surprise me that it took as long as it did to figure it out. Because that woman Sarah had to have been friends with her. Because she gave the father's name to me even too. Okay, so it looks like I got some work. I got my work cut out for me because Wisconsin. She gave Wisconsin too. I spelled Wisconsin wrong, I don't care. Well, I feel like I'm supposed to look up the name missing person's Jennifer Lynn too. I don't know why. You know one thing? I'm gonna figure this shit out. Because it's not just my memories that I gotta deal with anymore. Now I gotta figure out. But she knew I would. She knew I would figure it out. After watching me for so long, she knows how stubborn I am. She knows I wouldn't have given up, and she knows I always have to get to the bottom of everything. Watching me for 2 or 3 years, yeah, she would know. Yeah, she's not crazy. She's very intelligent. The hints that they gave me and everything else. Everything was clues. She was giving me clues the whole time. She was giving me clues the whole fucking time. Without trying to go against the NDA. Because she has no idea that it's not going to hold up because kidnapping, but at the same time, the kidnappers are there, so she gave me, she even sent me pictures. Come on. Said her mother had always been trying to get poor people to give her their children too. There's no statute of limitations on kidnapping. I've looked. She gave me some dates. She said my birthday was supposedly March 3rd, 1982. She gave me the birthday of her, March 3rd or March 10th, 1983. Said I had a twin named Adam who died at birth. Highly unlikely, obviously. But I'm guessing there is a child named Adam that was unalived. The person, she said the one that had been born before me, whatever, was 15 years older, so that would have been 1967. And she went back, said that I was born in 1972 or 1974. So these are... I don't know, someone's telling me to look up the name Jennifer, look for a Jennifer Lynn too. Because they always told me that my name was supposed to be Jennifer Lynn, then she had me and they said, oh, it's Southern McCord. Chicago, Wisconsin, she told, the other one gave, Sarah, I think it's probably her friend. She said at the time they lived in Chicago. But she also said that she just got back from visiting her dad in Dallas, Texas. She said that I had been taken from Wisconsin. These are all fucking clues. And these people, the girl, her and her sisters, whatever, probably not even related. They probably don't even know their real names or their real birthdays like me. This wasn't because she was stupid or foolish or insane. She wanted to make sure I wouldn't sign that NDA, and she knew I wouldn't by doing what she did. That's why. Yeah. We all signed an NDA. The little P person told me, why don't you sign an NDA? Everybody does one. Everybody does. No, not everybody does. That's not a normal thing. And I even have that Sarah person even gave me the father's name. That's why she sent me the pictures. So I could look them up. See if I saw anything that would resemble, age progressions that I would resemble them. I think. So I'm going to look up missing children from the 1960s to, to the early 80s. Probably up to 85, I'm going to say. Just to be on the safe side, but I'm going to look, and the date's March 3rd, 1982. Maybe that's the day someone was taken. So 1972 or 1974. 1960s. No, it wasn't her. It was creations by her, 5.0 or something. It wasn't Sarah. And I don't want to say this, if they do keep live streaming me and that, it is what it is. Whatever's said, it is what it is. Because if she needs to say whatever she needs to say to cover it to keep her safe, then so be it. I'm sure she knows by now that I'm going to get to the bottom of this shit and that I've figured it out. Because if it's to keep her safe, then so fucking be it. She's not crazy. Or stupid or anything like that. She's scared. For her to have an anxiety attack like she did, she's scared. And with the memories I have, with what happened to me, that's why she has CPTSD. Because of whatever happened to her, too. Because if it happened to me, I can guarantee you it happened to her and the others. So I'm gonna go. I need sleep. Hopefully this will slow it down now that I know. So from now on, we're not talking about it on live, because we don't know who's watching. And what I'm gonna do? Oh, I'm sure I'm going to. What I'm gonna do from now on is I'm gonna have to do fake memories, so to speak, if you get my drift. Or not even talk about it. But it's I think I got my work cut out for me, and I think I'm gonna have to. The first step is figuring out. Well, yeah, well, in order to do subscription only, you gotta subscribe. I'm more than happy to do subscription only, but you all gotta subscribe in order to do subscription only. I only have like 2 subscribers. You know? But yeah, I'll do subscription only. I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. Probably more fun that way too. But and that way nobody can live stream it on their lives, because they would get in trouble. So subscribe, and I will do a subscription only because I only have 2 subscribers right now. So then I gotta start posting on there anyway. Hell, I even have Cameo. Fuck. Yes, I'm on Cameo too, if you want to know. Which I haven't looked that up for a while. But yeah. Subscribe to subscription only. Do the subscription thing, and I will start doing subscription lives. That way, you know what I mean. Yeah. Either way, I gotta be, whether it's subscription only or not, because if they're gonna live stream me, okay, you can pay for it then too, right? I think I have a work cut out for me. The main thing is finding out if my theories are right and figure out who these girls are, who they really are. First step is to see if any of them look like a age progression from anywhere. I don't think you understand what I said. In order to watch a subscription live, you have to subscribe to it. So somebody has to subscribe to it to watch it or live stream it. Yeah, I'm not, because, yeah. You think I've given away all my memories no. Trust and believe. I haven't. Smarter than the average bear. Okay, when you do a live on your subscription only live, it means they have to pay to watch it. That's why it's a subscription. Someone in order to live stream a live that is a subscription live, they have to pay for this to join the subscription. It doesn't, like, not everybody can watch it. We're going to have to figure out how to stop that. Yeah, but first things first, because I'm going to have to figure out if they are even missing. But I am going to tell law enforcement my theories. No, sorry. Anyways. Like, I don't even know who you are. And, yeah, sorry, I don't know who you are. No. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. I'm going to go try and sleep a little bit and then walk around Manhattan, because that always helps me think and figure things out. But I am going to contact law enforcement about this and let them know what I have, let them know everything, because this doesn't make, this is not making sense. So, I'll see y'all later. Have a good night, or good day, guys. You know what I mean. If I can figure out at least a couple things today, like, are they really missing people? But yeah, I think they're most likely all kidnapped too. Love y'all. See you next time. See you later. I'll be on later. I always am, every night. So I'll see you later.